morning, my name is Emma White and I worship at Parkhead Nazarene Church. I may not have met all of you, but good morning to you. So we're nearly at the end of our first week of lockdown, and I wonder what kind of week you've had. Has it been strangely quiet in your home or your close or your street? Have you used your own voice fewer times this week because you haven't had the same opportunities to meet and chat with people? Or have you, in fact, like me, used your voice more than you'd like to, trying to control the pent-up energies of children, or coax teenagers from their rooms or away from screens? Have your fingers got repetitive strain injury because you've been trying to WhatsApp or text or Snapchat in an effort to keep up with friends who you miss? Have you been unwell or battling with the anxiety that this new normal can bring? You may be isolated on your own, which brings a whole new challenge, or with others, which can also bring its own strain, tension, or worry. Whatever your situation this morning, give yourself a well done for getting through, and get in touch with someone at the church if you're needing care. We're looking this morning at another character in the Bible who was isolated, the man who had been disabled for 38 years and was waiting for the healing at the pool of Bethesda in John chapter 5 verses 1 to 15. For him, life was bleak to say the least, an outcast, excluded from all social and religious gatherings and anything that constituted normal life at that time. And significantly, he was completely powerless to change any of his circumstances, and tells Jesus that he has no one to help him get into the pool at the right time to even have a chance of healing. He wasn't physically alone in his isolation, as we're told that there were a great number of others at these pools, all looking for healing for various ailments. But this was a competitive place, ruled by the survival of the fittest. We've unfortunately seen this kind of mentality in recent days. So what does Jesus do when he comes across this man? Well, his whole response is driven by deep compassion. He learns about the man's desperate situation and heals him with the words, "Get up, pick up your mat and walk." And the man does. Notice that in his grace, Jesus doesn't ask the man for a faith response before he heals. In fact, the man doesn't even know the name of his healer as Jesus then slips away into the crowd. Jesus heals not for the benefits to himself of gratitude, praise, or devotion, but simply because this is the work of his Father, which he alludes to in John 5:17. A Father who longs for people to have life and life to the full. So how does Jesus transform the powerlessness of the situation of isolation we face today and bring healing? Well, firstly, as in this passage, Jesus' heart is full of deep compassion for us, and in particular, those who are vulnerable, isolated, or sick. Just as he learned about this man's situation, so too does he know our daily needs before we ask. He's done his research on us, and he graciously gives us our daily bread without any need for us to compete with anyone else for the things that we need. Let's not, like the man at the pool, give a list of reasons as to why in this season of lockdown and social separation that this isn't possible. So when Jesus asks us today if we want to be well, in every sense of the word, let's say yes and receive his compassion, his power, and pick up our mat and walk in the fullness of life in Jesus. Secondly, he transforms the powerlessness of our situation by calling us back to himself, the source of all power. He asks us not to be distant from him or isolate ourselves from him. After healing the man at the pool and seeing that he is well, he speaks to him and says, "Stop sinning, or something worse may happen to you." The sin he's referring to here is the sin of unbelief, of continuing to choose a path that distrusts and isolates us from God. through this time of physical isolation from each other, we have a daily choice whether to hear the call of God, to choose to believe, keep believing, and keep walking. And as a church, we've discussed walking this road with faith, not fear, grace, not greed or competition, prayer, not panic. His call to us today is to love him, receive his love, compassion and power, and to show this to others. So whether in the quiet or the chaos, receive his compassion today and respond to his call. Have a great day.